Good morning and welcome to another session of Facebook Live. John Sautter along with April Holeiter from the Purdue Alumni Association bringing you another session right from the heart of campus today. In fact, I can tell you it's the Tuesday morning, a week before Thanksgiving. I can tell you also it's 25 degrees. We had snow last night. 2 months ago this was a good idea, but now it's a little chilly. But we're glad to bring you this session, and today we're going to talk about the Reamer Club. The Reamer Club on campus. And so we're glad to have you again. We're right in the heart of campus. April will pan around a little bit and you can see the leaves are off the tree. It's actually a beautiful fall morning. The sun is just starting to come up, and it's a great day to be on campus as we talk about one of the campus traditions, perhaps one of the oldest campus traditions on campus, the Reamer Club. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. We are fortunate to be in front of the lion structure, the sculpture, water fountain, and we have the Boilermaker Special with us. In fact, we're fortunate to have some Reamers, some actual live student Reamers join us this morning, and we'll be talking to them. There they are in the background. Let's talk about the Reamer Club. Actually, this goes way, way, way back to 1889. 1889, and that's when Purdue took on the name of Boilermakers. And I think most of you know the story. Purdue played Wabash College in a football game, and we beat them severely, and they were pretty sore about that whole matter. They looked at our players, and they were big and burly, and they accused us of bringing in some ringers from the Monon boiler shops up north of here. And in fact, they accused us of having Boilermakers on our team. And at first, we were a little offended by that, but then the more we thought about it, we thought that's a great nickname. Why not take it on? And so we became the Boilermakers in 1889. So if we speed up a little bit to 1923, there had been a group of students who were really following the football team and paying attention to Purdue traditions and things like that. 1923 is when the Reamer Club had their constitution approved. So 1923, the Reamers are about 95 years old this year. And so just a great tradition, perhaps, again, one of the oldest student organizations on campus. So the Reamer Club came into existence around 1923 or so, and they were dedicated to protecting and preserving campus traditions. Campus traditions like the lion sculpture here. It's actually a working water fountain. It was restored in 2001 as an actual working water fountain. And this is where they meet, periodically and with the pledges, and the class meets here, and other campus traditions and things. And so the old pump over by Stone Hall, the Reamer Club recently restored that. And so they have just done an excellent job of maintaining campus traditions around all year long. They formed in 1923, and they were really looking for a mascot, something that would capture the Boilermakers and serve as kind of a symbolic mascot for the team and for the university with its history of engineering. And so they came up with the concept of the Boilermaker Special, a locomotive, a Victorian era as it looks today. Back then it wasn't quite that way, a Victorian locomotive. And so that's what they did. In fact, we have a photograph right here. This is the very first Boilermaker Special that was put together. Rather archaic looking from the very beginning, but it was functional, it worked, very unique. And this was the first one, and now we have number 7, Boilermaker Special number 7. Lots of technology involved with the Boilermaker Special, very attractive looking, and it's well known across campus in the community and throughout the country. And on the front you see the cow catcher. The cow catcher, that's the tradition. And there they have the hats, the caps of the football teams we defeated this year so far. And so we're glad to see 5 caps there. We are anxiously awaiting for cap number 6 to be put on there, so we are bowl eligible. But first one again in 1940 or so, and they continued to evolve over the years. In 1974, the Reamer Club, they actually added females to membership, and it was shortly after that a female became the president of the Reamers, and now it's male and females over the years within the classes. And so a lot of the traditions have continued. In 1979, we had the Extra Special, and it's the smaller Boilermaker Special that can be driven actually into Mackey Arena and on the football field now as the team arrives. So it's a smaller version. I think there's 8 of those actually. We hoping to have it here today, but didn't quite get there because these are very, very busy. I should give a plug for the Boilermaker Special. It's very popular at birthday parties, at parades, at festivals, at weddings. The students were even telling me now they're doing funerals. They went to a funeral here just a few weeks ago for a person who had been a Reamer, and one of their requests was to have the Boilermaker Special as a part of that. And so, so that was a part of it also. Another tradition they have within the Reamer Club is the R boards. This is called an R board. And the R board is what the Reamers sign, and they get former members, current members, and then honoraries. And this happens to be mine from the 1980s or so, when I became an honorary member of the Reamer Club. And I'm very proud of this because if you get real close there, April can get real close, you might be able to see the signature of Arthur and Nancy Hansen. Very, very proud of that one. I can tell you Reamers and R boards for administrative staff and faculty across the campus, we stop what we're doing, we change our schedules, we open our doors, and when the Reamers show up, we want to meet these students and we want to sign those boards. And so from high-level administrators to coaches to whatever it might be, they're heavily involved with this because they do maintain the spirit of Purdue. In fact, 1951 is when Fred Hovde said that the Reamer clubs, they were really the spirit of Purdue, and they kept the spirit alive. And I think it's one of our secret weapons in terms of being a Boilermaker and all the traditions and all the history we've managed to maintain over the years. It's because of the Reamers and their dedication to all that. Another activity they have is they sell buttons. They sell buttons they used to sell them before every home football game, not quite as often. And so I pulled some of my vintage buttons out of my collection. One is Nuke Night, and I think people will have a pretty good understanding of that. The other one is Stop Era Pollution, and that has to do with Era Parsegian, who was a coach at Notre Dame from 1964 to 74. So in the early 70s is when I would have picked up this particular button, just a vintage button in my collection that I'm very proud to have. So a lot of good things associated with the Reamer Club, from the buttons and these sorts of things. They get some of their support from selling buttons, having this special appear at different places on campus, but then athletics also supports them for away football games and for travel opportunities. We're going to get a little closer now to the Boilermaker Special. In fact, we probably ought to hear them maybe honk the horn and ring the bell. Can you guys ring the bell? All right. Those of us here never tire of hearing those sounds around campus. We're now going to have Alex Long, who is the Vice President for the Reamers. Alex, good morning. Good to have you here.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you for making the effort to be here.
Yeah, no problem.
We have just a few questions about Reamers these days. You can see he's decked out in his buttons and tags and the hat, and attractive looking overalls there.
Our game bibs.
Game day, there you go. So Alex, where are you from and what's your major?
I'm from, do I need the mic?
Yep, good reminder.
I'm from southern Indiana, down by Louisville, a little town called Sellersburg. I'm a junior here at Purdue in civil engineering on the structural path. So I'm just about halfway done.
Super. Tell us why you became a Reamer.
So I became a Reamer. My grandfather, Chuck Y, was an honorary back in the early 90s. So I had kind of heard about the club that way. And then at my senior send-off in high school, a Reamer came and talked to our senior class. And it got me really interested because driving the train always sounded fun. And then they were the student section of Purdue, the spirit of Purdue. So I really like that. So that's what got me interested, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Cool. Speaking of driving the train, do you go to all away football games? Yeah,
we take this to every home and away football game. It's our favorite tradition in the club. Just this past week, I got back from Minnesota. That was a long drive. We got back about Sunday at 2 p.m. Game was a little cold. Game was a little rough. But we take it to all the games. I'm piloting it for the Wisconsin game this weekend, and then going down to IU the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Okay. So you all bowl games also?
Yes, that's as long as we knock on wood, get to a bowl game this year, we'll be taking it there.
Excellent.
So that's the plan.
Excellent. Well, do you have a favorite campus tradition?
So my favorite tradition at Purdue, it's discontinued for good reason. It's called tank scrap. So back in the early 1900s, the freshmen and sophomores would go to a hill up on the north side of campus, and they would have but they'd fight basically between the freshman and sophomore classes, and then the losers would get tied up and paraded down State Street. I thought that was kind of fun. It was discontinued back in the 20s.
How about a modern day tradition?
Modern day tradition. Personally, I love taking the train to all the home and away football games. That's something that's been started within the last 25, 30 years. It's really fun driving it across the country because just the looks you get on the interstate are something. Dealing with the drivers, it's just something else.
Got to be priceless.
It's really fun.
Okay, super. Well, I know you have some of your fellow Reamers with you. We're hoping maybe they can do a cheer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or so. Yeah. There, we got it. And there are a lot of cheers they have to memorize as a part of their experience, as well as a few interesting songs and that sort of thing. So come a little close here. What are we going to have first? Maybe
we'll do engineers yell.
Engineering cheer.
All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. E to the X, dy dx, E to the X, dx. Cosine, secant, tangent, side, 3.14159, square root, cubic, BTU, steps of schedule. Yeah, Purdue.
There you got it. Every word of it. Just right. And I think there's a favorite song of Reamer's. Oh, Purdue, maybe?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Purdue. Oh. Oh, Purdue, Purdue, make me shiver. You roast me, shop me, all about sugar, love me, your heart, love me, Purdue, by the river. Oh, Purdue, Purdue, which was a school, parking wall, fraction, pool, we met so many winners, so Purdue, at Purdue, woo!
There, you heard it. Oh, Purdue. I know some of those words, actually. Thank you very much for being here. Very, very much. We're going to conclude by making our way and get inside, see what the pilot seat looks like inside. April, are you with me? Yep. Oop. Make our way inside. This is what it looks like on the inside. This is what it's all about. This would be a great position for a student to have. When your kids or grandkids come here, you're going to want to do this. Because I can tell you, it's something about being a Boilermaker. There's something about a college campus weekend, a football weekend. You can hear this horn honking all over town. And it just warms you up knowing it's the Boilermaker Special doing its thing. And so when you come back, make sure you look for a ride on the Boilermaker Special. The Fridays before every home football game, they offer them all afternoon right over here at Stewart Center. And so you want to come back and be a part of this campus tradition, the Reamer Club. So on behalf of April and myself, thanks for watching. We'll see you in a couple weeks.